Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
I just jumped right into the intro because I want to get that opening shot of Sam in the video.
Honestly, I think that's just how we should start every time. We should just do
Right?
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So typically, we never know what to talk about. We're always like, oh, hey, how's it going? You're like, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. We got
Yeah.
some stuff to talk about, so let's try and make it quick because our episodes are going long. And
I
last week,
know.
we spent almost 10 minutes talking about Timothy Chalamet.
I know. I know. Won't happen this time, I promise.
Yeah, because we only talk about winners on this podcast. In the
Yeah,
spirit of this movie, we only talk about winners.
that's true. We
Um,
only care.
yeah, so what did you think about the Oscars?
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
I think it was good. I think a lot of it, like as always, I haven't seen most of it.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad Marty Supreme didn't win anything. That's
Which
bad to say, but
honestly, like genuinely surprised at, because it felt like uh I feel like the Safdies are very like loved. I don't think they both did this one.
no, it's just one of them.
I think it was just Josh.
Hmm.
Um and yeah, like up until like very recently, it's like I feel like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Chalamet, he's in it.
Well,
He's attuned. And like I don't know, like I feel like Marty Supreme was like a critic darling. I kept seeing like fives across the board for it. So the fact that it didn't get anything, that's really
yeah,
surprising.
it's so wild because I feel like it, I want to get like behind the scenes peek as into the marketing of this movie because I feel
Mm-hmm.
like there was more marketing for Timothy Chalamet at the Oscars than there was for this whole movie. Like they did
Mm.
big stuff like where he was standing on top of that giant dome or whatever, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but what's your movie? And I remember watching the trailer and I'm like, wow, this looks really good. I want to check this out. But
Mm-hmm.
like I never really heard anyone talk about it. But then when it like the critics were praising it, I'm like, okay, cool. And then it was winning awards, and Timothy Chalamet was winning awards. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm not hearing any like audiences react to it, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
it's just and what I was finding like on Letterboxd and stuff was very mixed. So I'm like, it was just very weird. There was this weird kind of uh almost like a silence on it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it didn't win anything. Just because of the weird kind of everything about the push for Oscars with this movie was just weird.
Is it A24?
I think so.
Okay. I know that they're real weird with their Oscar pushes.
Yeah.
Or at least like what was it? A couple of years ago they had, maybe it was last year. I don't remember. They had like two big movies come out that like critics were like really praising both of them, but they only did an Oscar push for like one.
Mm,
And then I don't even, yeah, I don't remember which one it was. I know the other one that they didn't push for was Sing Sing with
okay.
Coleman Domingo.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like he was being praised like that whole award season,
Hmm.
but yeah, yeah, I'm not sure, like I don't know what like the internal logic is for whatever A24 has out, but
Hmm.
uh yeah. But anyway, I'm glad Michael B. Jordan won.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad Ryan Coogler won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, he won screenplay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Paul
Original?
Thomas. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
original. Paul Thomas Anderson got director. And
Yeah.
that's the thing too. One battle after another, I heard lots of good things the whole time. I didn't really
Hmm.
see a marketing push, but everyone was talking about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm not disappointed that it won, because I haven't seen it. I'm just like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like if anything, it was kind of like within like 2 months or so, like before the win. I was seeing a couple of like think pieces coming out from people of color and critics of color and like really kind of like,
Critics of color?
yeah, well, yes.
We don't like color.
Yeah, no, Matthew. No, just not white people, all right?
Oh, okay.
Um yeah, I anyway, I saw a lot of
Top
I
10
saw.
reasons why I don't like brown podcasters.
Oh my God, yeah, for
That's a
sure.
critic of color.
For sure. Jeez. Anyway, we're gonna talk about challengers. No, like I just saw a lot more think pieces about the politics of the movie, and then specifically kind of talking about like how even though there are a lot of black characters in the film, and there are a lot of
Mhm.
um it really does like take a lot of its political ideologies from like black revolutionaries. The way a majority of the black women that are in the movie, the way they're treated, uh, doesn't doesn't really hold up, you know.
Hmm.
And now I haven't seen the movie either, so
Mhm.
I've essentially heard like both. I've heard that like, oh, it's a very, it's an impressive radical piece of filmmaking, especially now in our
Yeah.
political day and age. And then I've heard the exact opposite, where it's just like, if anything, like it's more exploitative than anything else.
Mhm.
Um, so that's an
Mm.
interesting dynamic. I would love to like sit down and have a conversation about it.
Sure. And I mean, and there's no
Once we
reason why
watched
it
it.
can't be both. You know, Paul
Yeah.
Thomas Anderson has always been on the kind of like I feel like the fringes as far as his storytelling and his style of storytelling, you know.
Yeah.
Um
It
it's
is
not
just a
for
little.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. But it is also kind of like disappointing when, you have a film that is very outwardly political, and the entire, his entire press run for Oscars, like he won't say anything politically, you know.
Mm,
And
yeah.
and and I think that's where a
Yeah.
lot of people are also kind of calling him out on that, where it's like, so you can
Yeah.
make the political art, but you yourself can't say anything. Like that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's tough,
and
man, because like I do want to be critical of those people, but also um the further into this era, whatever you want to call it, a lot of things are coming to light. You know, he might not be able to say anything. Who knows?
mm,
Tony Gilroy just went on record saying that he was not allowed to say the word genocide or fascism in any interview as long as he was associated with Star Wars.
mm,
And he's like, isn't that ironic? You know, we're the one show who accidentally became the most relevant of our times,
mm-hmm,
and it's about, toppling fascism, and but Disney would not allow it. And I was like,
yeah.
oh man, you know. So yeah, I don't know, someone just did like I think it was a comedian who was talking about. I see this guy everywhere. I don't know his name, but he was talking about some film festival that it just had a week or two ago, and this one, I think it was the one same interviewer. He went to all the panels and he was asking everyone like, what do you think? Where do you think politics has in your art and talking about it? And the montage was just like all these different actors and filmmakers talking about like we try to keep politics out of it, you know. And it was
Mm,
very disheartening, you know. Neil
yeah.
Patrick Harris was there, Michelle Yeoh, she said the same thing, and I'm just like, and the comedian he was saying he's like, no, this is it. You know, like you have to understand the only reason you're able to get on that stage and talk about this piece of art you made is because we've been fighting this for decades. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no guarantee, and he didn't say this, but I'm adding to it. There's no guarantee that Neil Patrick Harris will be allowed on a stage next year, you know,
Yeah.
or Michelle Yeoh will be allowed into this country next year because that's the reality of our world we're living in, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And it's
You
just like
know,
so fuck that, fuck
yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah,
it's just
no,
like,
no, 100%.
yeah,
Like what, like we're, if things go sideways, like there's the high probability that a far right conservative group is going to hold the keys to an entire media domain, with this
yeah,
Paramount Warner Brothers acquisition. So it's like
yeah,
that's you know and we already know that like Stallone and like what's his name, Taylor Sheridan, like we already
hmm
know where they stand on the aisle. So then the fact that more of those, quote unquote traditional, movies are going to get produced, with
hmm
traditional male leads, and
hmm
have a more conservative lean to them, and in a perfect world, there would be room for all kinds of art,
yeah,
but when one group is going to control like an entire outpouring of media, not just films, but like TV
hmm
shows and even news outlets, it's like now we're
hmm
only going to get one side of the story, and that's potentially, forever. Like that
yeah,
sucks. Like that sucks in and of itself. And then to have artists in biggest week, the biggest week leading up to their giant night, where it's all about the movies, where it's all about
hmm
literally people, going through the process and getting their things made. You have to vote for these things. Like, come on,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, that sucks, and screw that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
We're all gonna be whitewashed, like Zendaya here. Very whitewashed poster.
Pretty whitewashed poster for
And I don't
sure.
know if it's my background, but I look a little more orange than I usually do on this podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe because it's like the bright white light behind me. I don't know.
My lighting scheme is all weird right now too in the apartment, so it's like,
Mhm.
I look washed out.
So yeah, my ring light, it came with like the white
Hmm.
like filter, and it also came with an orange one. Orange just looks like better on my skin because the white just kind of like reflects.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm a shiny person, I guess. So yeah, but today I just feel like I look very orange.
Mm,
So maybe I'll be
yeah.
president one day. So other quick news. Speaking of controlling medias and people not getting their voices heard,
Uh-oh.
officially Buffy there is not moving forward with Hulu.
Yeah.
And then just yesterday, I think they posted Sarah Michelle Gellar was talking about how she's pretty sure it was this one producer on the
Mm.
show, and he quite proudly would say it quite often that he had never seen the show. And yeah, and I'm like, that's this sucks, man. Like,
That sucks.
not even that. Like that's just it to me. It just feels like a bad business move. Like this is one of the most popular IPs ever. You know, it's
Hmm.
still having an impact on culture and modern television. You know, and like
Hmm.
this guy, this is what happens when you get business people into positions where they have authority over creativity and art. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You
Yeah.
know, the
Yeah.
fact that this guy doesn't know what Buffy is and what it changed
Hmm.
in TV, it's just like, dude.
And and to even go so far as to like continue to say that, where it's like I could understand if you had like come into that initial meeting being
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I've never seen the show.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. You have homework now. You got 7 seasons to go binge. Like, go do that. Like, and it doesn't matter like where else, like after, like, oh, we're gonna have a meeting like 2 weeks from now. So
sure.
what? You haven't finished all 7 seasons. At least watch the damn show. You know?
You would think, right? Just at least give it a shot. But I mean,
Yeah.
even then, even if you're not going to do that, just Google what is Buffy? You know,
Yeah.
why do people like Buffy? You know,
Yeah.
it's the most easy thing, you know, if you get a new job washing dishes at a restaurant, you're going to want to know how to do it well. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
if you get a job producing a show that is bringing back a popular franchise, do your research. This guy was probably thinking like, oh, it's probably just some obscure thing, like very cult, following, which it is, but it's a huge cult. I don't think
Hmm.
it's considered a cult anymore, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean,
because
yeah.
all you got to do is Google it. Like, what the hell is Buffy? Why do people like Buffy? And you'll see that you have decades now of people loving this franchise because it was more
Hmm.
than just one show, and
Hmm.
then it was the comics. And everyone's just trying to bite for like cinematic universes and crossovers. Like, I thought for sure Buffy was like, oh, yeah, you know,
Yeah, I thought
sold.
Buffy would be like a shoe-in, just be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's like kind of surprised nobody's tried it
this is going to be like
yet,
Hulu's thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, this could be a flagship for them. This is the Hulu cinematic universe. It's this Buffy thing, but
Hmm.
no, I'm like,
Hmm.
crap, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then in non-news, they're about to pitch a Firefly cartoon.
Yeah. Which I'm like that I don't know. I feel like the odds are up in the air about that one, regardless.
I don't think it's going to
Um
happen because it seems like they're just going off of social media, and I'm like, they keep saying like it's important that you share this and like this. I'm like, that's not gonna.
like that means nothing, you
Yeah,
know? It's like we were saying off pod, in multiple instances, it's like if they had done the same thing but then asked us to join their Kickstarter or share the Kickstarter
that's
and
what I
do all
thought it was
that
gonna
stuff,
be,
then yeah, then I think, oh, for sure, that thing would have gotten funded within hours.
dude. I
um
know, and because when the studios see the money that's to be made, that's when they're like, "Son of a gun, I'm in," you
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
So
not that, and it doesn't. Nathan Fillion didn't even mention if it was written yet. I don't know, but he
no,
said we're good.
I think it is. I think they do have a script
Okay, for like a pilot or for the
for a
season or
pilot.
for a
Yeah.
pilot. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's you take your rookie residuals and then you
Yeah.
get everyone else to team up, throw in some cash,
Hmm.
produce a 20-minute long uh animated pilot,
Yeah.
and then show that. That's what you drop, drop it at
Hmm.
Comic-Con or something like, hey
Yeah.
guys, this is what we've been working on, and then
Hmm.
the studios see that and they're like, hell yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're going back to the verse.
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to harp on it too much, but
Hmm.
it's like it just feels like too many what it feels like is that it's that could have worked years ago.
Hmm.
I feel like that could have worked a little bit after the movie was made. you know
Hmm.
maybe even later than that, maybe 5 years ago, pre-COVID. I think this probably could have worked. But now it's too much. It's too much in the air. Like Buffy can't even get their pilot, out
True.
there.
Yeah.
So it's and Buffy has so much more. Truly, I feel like Buffy has so much more of a lasting impact and a much
Hmm.
larger cultural clout to
Hmm.
take from than Firefly does. Firefly,
Yeah.
the fans are fervent and that fandom is still
Hmm.
there, but it is still it's still pretty niche, and I think it's still
Yeah.
pretty just yeah, you just look at the longevity of something like Buffy, and it's like, oh yeah, no, that would make perfect sense. The way they were
Yeah.
setting it up, how they were giving us all the information and stuff, yeah, that works. With something
Yeah.
like this, with Firefly, it's like, I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I think it could work, especially because there's different expectations for an animated series, you know? So you need to find a
yeah,
studio that wants an animated series,
hmm,
and that wants to do like this kind of throwback franchise that has this cult following. So all that, but because even though animation is hella expensive,
Hmm.
I think there's lower expectations for like your return on investment. You know,
Yeah, maybe.
and I think that's just it's a bias, and it doesn't matter like what genre or what streaming platform.
Hmm.
Your animated stuff isn't gonna get watched as much as live action unless it's like for little kids,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. So yeah, it kind of depends. Amazon's been going buck wild with their animation show, all their animated shows, you know, so maybe that's an option.
That's
But
true.
I'm not
That's
opposed to
true.
it. Like I love that cast. I'm of course curious what it would be like without their creator. Same thing with Buffy. Like, okay, what does this look like without the creator? At least
Hmm.
Buffy had Chloe Zhao, at least for
Hmm.
the pilot, you know. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, this is interesting. So uh we'll see. I'm still hoping they're able to pull Buffy off somewhere else. Someone else figures it out. Oh, and they also
Hmm.
said the script that leaked was like early. That was not their shooting script.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who I think would have made a great Buffy?
Who? Yeah. Zendaya.
Zendaya. Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Angel, Spike. Yeah, I could say. Actually, no, I would swap
Hmm.
them because Josh O'Connor, I believe, is British. So,
Which one's
um,
Joss O'Connell? Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
Patrick.
Yeah. Although there was a lot of toxicity with Angel, and
Oh, that's true.
I feel like that guy, at least the character in this movie, it was very more upfront, you know, where Spike kind of just owned it, you know.
Yeah,
Spike was like a bad dude. Angel was a manipulator, you know what I mean?
that's
Something like
true.
that. Yeah,
That's true.
like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I can
So
see that.
I don't know. Hmm.
Maybe.
I want to recast this
Hmm.
whole
I'll
thing.
read the fanfic.
So how
Um,
do you say this director's name?
Luca Guadagnino.
Luca Guadagnino's Buffy.
Why are you adding an S? Don't add an S.
Did I say
Oh,
that? Oh,
oh,
because it's his.
because it's
Yeah,
his. Right, right, right.
yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So,
Yeah.
everyone, we talked, we watched, and we're talking about Luca
Guadagnino's
Guadagnino's
Challengers.
2024,
Yes.
twenty
2024.
2024, uh, sexy tennis romp
Mm-hmm.
challengers.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it last night, at midnight, of course. And I
Of
gotta
course.
say, this is not how I remember middle school tennis.
I was wondering how long we were going to go into the episode before we talk about your tenure in tennis.
Mm, you know,
Your
I
tennis
do like
tenure.
talking about myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah. I was quite the tennis player. That's it. I got no other title to add to that.
How long were you in tennis?
Middle school? So I think it was 2 years because it wasn't the whole time.
Yeah, because I don't think they let you join a sport in sixth grade.
Oh, that's true. And
Yeah.
I didn't play in high school because I don't think we had a high school tennis team, did we?
Uh, no, I don't think so.
I feel like I would have because I really enjoyed tennis
Hmm.
more than I enjoyed baseball.
Mm,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
did play baseball in high school for a
Yeah, I
hot
remember that.
second.
Yeah.
So they both hit balls. So um
Yes, that's their connection for sure.
yeah, that's the what they have in common. But yeah, man, I dug this movie. So twice in a row, my movie
Mhm.
selections were random. Not
Yeah.
gonna do that again because I wanted to watch this movie, but I was not looking forward to it. I was just
Mm.
like, ah, man, okay. I have so much weird sci-fi on my list. The fact that we got another random and it just yeah. I'm like, okay. But dude, like 60 seconds into the movie, and I'm like, oh, this is my jam. You start off with like the close-ups on their faces. I'm like,
Hmm.
ooh,
Hmm.
before we even get like the MGM logo, I was like, odd, very artsy. I'm like, okay, I've heard of this Luca guy. Um, I'm like, all right. But then like we get the that first like tennis scene and the damn music, dude. Okay, it's Trent. Is it Trent Reznor and
Atticus Ross. Yeah.
okay, so it's both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Dude, yeah. I'm like, yes, this I dug the Tron Airy soundtrack. I dug this soundtrack. So it's good to have these guys,
uh,
doing scores now.
they worked with Luca on I think his previous movie before this one, Bones and All.
Hmm.
And once they were finishing up, he sent them an email that just said, "Hey, do you want to work on my next movie? It's sexy, two X's." And then based off of that, they were just like, "Yeah, we're in."
This movie was, dude, this is like Gen Z closer to me, you know?
Ooh, interesting pull.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see
That's
that.
that's the vibes I had watching this whole thing. And listeners, if you know me, I freaking love Closer.
Hmm.
Uh, I loved my short time in the play. I did not love our single performance of it. It went horribly awry.
The
Um,
only performance I ever saw you do in college.
oh my God, I know the one time my parents visit me at college to watch me perform, and
Mm.
okay, there's a scene where I'm getting a lap dance,
Mm-hmm.
and the music cuts out like halfway
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also doing a terrible British accent because I'm not good with accents, and
Oh, that's right.
I worked on that accent for months, and I can't imagine how bad it was. I'm just glad it was me doing it, and I wasn't in the audience having to hear it. And then
Mm-hmm.
three, there's the scene where we're like sexting on the computer, and
Oh,
I'm up
yeah,
there like having to like grab myself, and like, oh my God. Like I
yeah.
said, I love that script. It's a great script, but just the fact that I knew my parents were out there, I'm like, son of
Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
just
There's
forget
nothing
it. Just
there.
forget it.
When you're in the
Matt's gone. When you're
when
on
you're in the
stage,
stage,
Matt's not there.
yeah, Matt's not there, and also nobody's in the audience. The audience, there's no audience. You're
Everyone in the
doing
audience
this.
is naked.
It's like you're performing for the other actors on the
Mhm.
stage. We'd be
But
great directors, I think.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally,
But
totally.
I love it like how in this movie the audience to the tennis match was like the audience in this movie just
Hmm.
oh, I loved it. Speaking of which, I guess something I'm starting to notice more on podcasts and stuff where they talk about these movies.
Okay.
Unfortunately, in my opinion, the audience is getting larger and larger of people who don't actually watch the movies, and they
Ah.
listen to the episode about it, and that determines if they watch it or not.
Oh, right, right, right. Yeah.
So that doesn't mean we're staying away from spoilers. We're going to spoil everything,
Oh, yeah.
but I will preface with a little synopsis, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. Essentially, I should have wrote this down. Okay, I'm just gonna
Are you just gonna off the cuff do a?
wing it.
Okay,
For
okay.
some reason, I was gonna say free ball it, which
That
means
is a
something
term,
different.
but
But I
that is
think
a
in the
term you could
context of
use.
this
Yeah,
movie, I'm gonna free
sure.
ball it.
Okay, yeah, free ball it.
No, essentially, it's these two best friends, tennis buddies, who fall in love with the same girl, and chaos ensues. Sexy with two X's,
Mm-hmm.
chaos ensues. But yeah, and it's basically her impact on their lives, both romantically, professionally, friendshiply. Uh, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's it. That's a
Yeah.
synopsis. That's all I'm giving you. Go watch it.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, I loved it. I loved the music. I loved it. Got a little tricky after the like in the second half of the movie, but I love the chronology
The chronology.
the chronology
Hmm.
of the sequence of events. We'll say that.
Okay, there
I,
we
I
go.
love the fact that it was going back and forth. I thought it was brilliant. Second half of the film gets really weird because it's the first half is going back between like years and decades.
Hmm.
Second half is just like weeks and days. I'm like, okay, well, okay, hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was really my only complaint about the movie. I'm like, wait, at what point are they having this conversation?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because some of these scenes are long and they're just talking and like being horrible people. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. But then like the scene ends, I'm like, oh wait, okay. Technically, most of this movie is a flashback. But I'm like,
Hmm.
is this a few days ago? Or was this years ago? I don't remember. So, because the first half of the movie, when they're going back years, they do a really good job to kind of like age the cast down a bit. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I kind
Yeah.
of feel like Zendaya was the opposite. Like her more the modern time, they kind of lightened up her hair a little bit. They didn't give her gray, but it was a little lighter colored, and
I think it,
short.
yeah, short. I think that's what it was. Like, because when she's
Yeah,
younger, she has longer hair. Her hair's in the ponytail when she's
yeah.
training and playing.
The
Uh,
guys were the opposite. Like when they were
yeah.
in the earlier, younger, clean shaven,
Hmm.
they looked fresher. I
Hmm.
think they had the longer hair, like in your background.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like Zendaya ages gracefully like wine. So
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely she does.
but like that first jump, it was like 13 years ago, and I was like, oh my god,
Hmm.
like these guys like I know they're the same age in real life. You know what I mean? But like just the way their bodies move and they kind of more they kind of run around more, the way they're moving and talking
Yeah, how they
and
carry
they're
themselves like
yeah.
everywhere. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, dude, that's good directing right there and good acting.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah. Um but yeah, man, I loved it. A movie about three people who are all individually selfish, and when you get them all together, it's just a really horrible combo. Uh,
Yeah.
but one, it's never boring. It was an over
Yeah.
2 hour movie and it was never boring. And two, I still liked each character and all their motivations and choices felt true to that character. And it's like also understandable. Like, I know why you would treat this guy this way.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
totally get that. Me seeing the bigger picture, I could see how that's the wrong choice, but I could totally get that, and then
Yeah.
vice versa, for the other characters. So, yeah, like, I don't know if you're ever supposed to take anyone's side because they're all like, there's no protagonist or antagonist here. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they each character like switches roles based on the point in the timeline.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I feel like they could have easily gone so wrong with this script, but I
Truly.
think they pulled it off. I think they did it well.
I watched a couple of I watched some behind the scenes, and then I watched a couple of people doing like not reactions, but
Hmm.
like analyses on the film and like specific parts of the film.
Hmm.
Zendaya herself said during the press tour that they're all in a very toxic, codependent relationship.
Hmm.
Um, and you can definitely see that where it's like, Tashi comes in and you can see the boys like drawing their own battle lines, like, oh, okay, this is how it's gonna work,
Yeah.
this is somebody that they both want.
Hmm.
Where earlier, you could tell that their friendship is like it's mutual, they're like, oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
like they are buds, but it's that thing where it's like everybody can be friends and you can agree on everything until both of you want the same thing, and
Right.
then yeah, so like, and I love that because apparently there was also the way one of the trailers was cut. I don't know if it was an early trailer or what, but apparently one of the trailers was cut. It marketed it as like Zendaya being the one to like kind like setting her up kind of to be like the manipulative villain,
Mm,
you know,
mm-hmm,
and like she's the one who's digging her claws into both of these guys and pitting them against each other, you know, and it's all her fault and she's doing this and it's like,
mm-hmm.
but then you watch the movie and it's like, well, but that's not what's happening, you
Right.
know? Like these two guys, like you can just tell that like they are willing to do anything for her. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even oh, what's his name? Okay, Patrick Art. Uh
Art. Yeah.
like if anything, I feel like Art was the one who was very like just out with it, you know, or at least like not out with it, but like very like manipulative in that kind of like traditional villain way, you know, pitting
Mm-hmm.
kind of like sowing the seeds of doubt um in both Tashi and Patrick, you know, just being like, I just don't understand, like I don't know what you see in him. And at the same time, it's like, so you're really committing, like you're really gonna call her girlfriend, like you think she's the one.
Yeah.
It's like that's nasty work, man. That is
Yeah.
nasty work, you know? And like that's not to say that Tashi and Patrick didn't also, you know, pull their own, you know,
Yeah.
shit. But Art straight up like was manipulative, you
Mm-hmm.
know, especially like while they were both in college. So,
Yeah. But
you
then you
know,
see him the rest of the movie, and it's just like he kind of seems like just on the outskirts for most of that. You
oh
know,
yeah, yeah.
like all the manipulating is coming from the other two. And it's so weird, like, um, yeah, because see, that's the thing though, like, yes, Art was being a manipulator, but I don't know if it actually worked. Because like the reasons like Tashi and Patrick split had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like, and then you see everyone's kind of reactions to the situation. I'm like, oh, okay, no, yeah, you're a turd. So
Yeah.
like, you know, you could say that about all of them. You know, Patrick was definitely the ego centric one. Tashi has to be the best. She has to be the winner, you know?
Hmm.
And I love that. I love that character. She's like, "No, got to be the best." You know? And I'm like, "Oh, crap, a win at
Yeah.
all cost." You know? And that doesn't change from her as when she's younger as the player to her as she's older as the coach. Like it's the exact same character and mentality. I was like, "Ooh." And then Art is just kind of like he seems like he loves the game, but he's kind of that guy who's just like he's there for the fun of it and he ends up being really good. And then
Yeah.
that gets sends him off on this whole spiral into like the fame and the fortune and you could just tell his heart's just not in it, you know? He's in a marriage where he doesn't feel the love and I don't even know if he has love in there, you know? It's just like, damn. It's
Hmm.
crazy. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think it's pretty twisted. I think Art definitely loves Tashi, but
Yeah.
at least like in that final conversation that we see them have before we jump into like the finale,
Hmm.
um, I think he knows. You know, even before, you know, Tashi just straight up says that if you lose the match tomorrow, I'll leave you.
Hmm.
Um, even before that, I think he already knows, you know.
Yeah, he
And Patrick
knows.
knows too, because that was part of the whole conversation, you know, in the alley where he's asking, you know, Tashi to be his coach. It's like you know
Yeah.
that Art is good, but you also know that he wants to retire.
Yeah.
You know that he's getting there. And uh and yeah, it is this thing where it's just like, okay, yeah, like you hedged your bets. Art is pretty good and that might be it, you know. Yeah, like that's it. But
Yeah.
Art through the whole thing, Art I feel like has just had like the confidence issue, you know. He
Sure.
even especially when they were younger didn't know if he could beat Patrick. I
Hmm.
noticed it too when we first see Art and Patrick in the doubles game, like the
Hmm.
very first time they're playing, the ball only ever goes to Patrick. It
Yeah.
never goes to Art. And
Yeah,
I
I noticed that.
I thought that was great. I was like, just in
Hmm.
like 10 seconds, you know everything there is to know about like their dynamic and the like if not the talent level, at least like how the other players view it. It's like Patrick
Right.
is very good. Um
Yeah.
and Art is content with just letting Patrick be very good and
Yeah.
being there.
Yeah. And I think, that's the thing too, like he could be seen as a pushover. He's very content, very almost too chill, you know?
Hmm.
Uh and I think that's kind of like that's his vice. That's the thing that's holding him back, you know? Maybe him and Tashi have a chance as a player and a coach and a husband and wife and as parents. Maybe they could be good if he was a little more assertive,
Hmm.
if he could kind of match her on that level a little bit. Because they both mentioned it in different scenes, but uh like when Patrick, that scene where him and Tashi, or they don't break up in that scene, but they in college where they're having an argument, and he says something to the fact, he's like, I'm not he's like, I'm not your student, you know? He's like,
Hmm.
I'm your peer. And I'm like, are
But
you
are
though?
you?
You're good, but are you Tashi level good? You
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
then later Art throws that back at him, you
Hmm.
know? Something to the fact, he's like, we're not peers, you know? He's
Hmm.
Oh, I love that line he says. He's like, I'm just visiting here, man. You live here. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I was like, I love this version of Art. Like he's such a dick, but it's so refreshing to see where he came from to get to this point, you know? And it's
Hmm.
like you gotta find a nice medium, bro. Uh, but
Well,
but yeah,
but I feel like that's the thing too, like because like Tashi clocks it, like Patrick's problem is that he never grew up.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
coasted by on just being good,
yeah.
but that's the thing, like he's coasted by, like he's like between the two, I think he had more of the talent, but he never bothered to like refine it, you know.
Right.
And so that's why he's constantly out there. That's why he's getting taken advantage of. That's why he's doing Phil's Tire Town Challenger. He has to do that, you
Yeah,
know. Art doesn't have to, you know. He's doing it to build his confidence back up.
yeah,
And that is the thing, to have these two guys who, you know, for all intents and purposes, like they fell out of love with each other.
yeah.
And when they come back, there's all that baggage, there's all that pain, there's all the things that we said and didn't say, the
Hmm.
last things that we did say to each other are coming back into our heads. And yeah, Patrick comes in like not a care in the world. I'm king of the world. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. But he's posturing. And it's the same BS that he used to do when they were younger. And Art, I
Hmm.
think, finally has his eyes open and it's like, oh yeah, I have nothing to worry about from you. Like
Yeah.
you've always been like this and you always will be.
Hmm.
And it's like, yeah, like when you're dealing with that kind of a person as your challenger, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine to be a dick.
As much as I enjoy tennis and as much as I love this movie, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, damn, I really wish this was like a King Arthur and Lancelot remake. You know, just like really show us like that
Hmm.
the with the Guinevere and all that stuff. Like, oh yeah, I want to see these two guys just like duke it out with some swords. Like, yeah, but it ends the exact same way.
Oh, I can see that. I can
Yeah,
definitely see that.
yeah. This is my ending. It's
Yeah, yeah.
copyright free. I'll do what I want with it. Damn it.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. I love
Um.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, man. There's just I don't know what else to talk about. Like, it was just really solid. It was a great movie. Afterward, I was like, yes, somebody give me a script. I want to go act. I don't know what. It's like it's like 2:15 in the morning. I was like, I want to go act. I could hear my ancestors calling from afar. I must go act beneath the stars. I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was just like it was, and listening
Incredible.
to the soundtrack as the credits rolled, I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I tried to go
Oh
to sleep
yeah.
after that, and I was just kind of like vibrating. Like,
This is like I don't understand how you can do that. Like how you can do that. Just like I understand on a weekend,
yeah,
doing that, but like
it's my
on a
most comfortable and vulnerable state
on a weeknight,
after
dude.
midnight. Yeah,
Jeez.
I'd rather stay up watching a movie than stay up just cruising YouTube. You know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
And I do that way too much anyway, but I'm in bed at a decent hour, not 2, 3 in the morning. Jeez.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. You're better than man than me, Sam, I guess. Uh, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. Zendaya was a producer on this. It was like, hell yeah. I
Hell
wonder
yeah.
like I wonder like how much input she had, you know, um, as far as like scripts or whatever. Because I think this could have easily been one of those movies where it's just like, oh yeah, she splits up the group. She was the homewrecker, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, but no, I like how all three of them were just terrible people.
Yeah.
And the way it ends, I'm hopeful for the future of these
Mm.
three. I know it's very up to interpretation, but I'm hopeful, that they could at minimum stay friends or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I gotta say, that final tennis match, that's probably goes down in history as the most over dramatic tennis match of all time. I was even thinking, I'm like, were there any cameras there? Like, because they mentioned watching other players online. They're
Mm.
like, oh, you're gonna play this person, or I saw so and so play this or whatever. But this match was so small, like I don't know if it was streaming anywhere. So is this just like one of those nobody has footage of it, but the
Hmm.
rumors and stories of this match
Like you just had to be
continues.
there.
Yeah, because also the way it sets it up too is like I think no matter who wins this game, it's setting Art up for his comeback. Like people are going to be looking forward to him going for the cup, you know?
Yeah.
And Patrick, this is a great setup of be like, who the hell is this guy? You
Hmm.
know? So it doesn't matter like who wins. I feel like both of their careers are going to kind of like spike after this.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why it kind of left me with a hopeful thing, you know. Yeah, so I don't know.
And Tasha's gonna be there, guiding both of them in her own way.
Kind of, right?
Molding
Yeah.
Art and helping Art, to keep
It's
going,
it's such a
so he
great
can win
moment.
the Open, but then
Where
also telling Patrick, like, you can do this. You
yeah,
can.
because I also love when they say earlier, Art tells her, he's like, that's you screamed earlier. I've never seen anything like that. And she
Hmm.
screams at the end, and at first I was like, like for a split second, I'm like, don't encourage them. But then I'm like, no,
No. Yeah.
one, they're coming together, but also back to her toxic win at no cost thing. I think she's finally excited that she's watching real tennis.
Hmm.
She's
Hmm.
finally seeing these two like Olympians at their peak. Because I'm like, dude, that last match, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's like
I guess it's the Rocky of tennis. I was originally going to say this is the Top Gun of tennis.
it can be both,
It could be both. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it can definitely be both, especially because like probably even more Top Gun than Rocky because, we're not necessarily dealing with underdogs here.
True.
Uh, and the homoerotic tension is one, palpable, and two, canon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is textual. It is there.
And I think what kind of works to its benefit is it's never really talked about. They don't talk about their kiss at any point in the film.
No.
They don't even have the threesome. That's what kind of like was one of the marketing pushes. The picture behind you, they're like,
Yeah.
Zendaya's gonna have a threesome in film, but
Well,
like none
yeah.
of that really happens. But yeah, there's no talking or admitting their feelings for each other between the two guys, or
Hmm.
anything like that. It's all visual. And you know me, visual and no talking,
Hmm.
that's when you can do that, that's when you're acting. That's when you're
Yeah.
writing. It's so weird too, because as a writer, it's almost like what you don't write is more important, you know?
Yeah.
It's like what I don't put on page, but is still conveyed. That's when you know it's
Yeah.
magic.
And like I think in one of the interviews I saw, Zendaya did say that like um I think all three of them had kind of uh if not free reign, they had a lot of input on character
Mm,
and you know where characters come from, like how they're coming together. I think it was always kind of in the script that like Patrick and Art were always like bunkmates. They always went to school together, but like after that, I think everything else is kind of like, okay, so then
yeah.
would there have been you know, any
Yeah.
sexual tension between these guys? If you were friends when you were kids, you're going through puberty, blah, 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 all that stuff, which is why I really like that. Like, I agree. I love it that it's not said, but in this same scene, when they're talking about, they're like kind of, you know, I guess like their sexuality,
Hmm.
and Tashi's just like, so what? You guys never, implying
Hmm.
that like you guys never hooked up,
Hmm.
and Art flat out is just like, oh no, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And you immediately look at Josh O'Connor, because they're like poised like across from each other. You immediately look at Josh O'Connor and he puts his head down and like turns
Yeah.
away as if like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, like I think he would be down if anything, like if it were a possibility,
Yeah.
And even later, like when he's just scrolling through, I don't know what it is, if it's Tinder or Hinge or
Hmm.
whatever. Um, he's just flippantly passing through a lot of women, and then he
Hmm.
stops on a guy,
Yeah.
and like it lingers for like one, two
Yeah.
swipe. Yeah,
Because that's the thing too. Like going into this, I knew the concept of the movie, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, cool. So I was curious, seeing it at the beginning as when they're younger. I'm like, okay, are they already like, are they together? Like, what is this? What is their relationship?
yeah. Hmm.
You couldn't fool. I mean, you did fool me. I thought they were like a couple from the start. They certainly act like it
Hmm.
the whole time. But then once they meet Tashi, there's like, no, 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 nothing like that. I'm like, oh, okay, they're
Yeah,
pretty close for bros.
yeah.
But
It's like really
but
art. I don't know.
to each his own.
Yeah.
But I think that it was smart to do it that way because that's some of the unspoken tension between the two of them as well.
Hmm.
It's not just their history of fighting over this girl. It's their this history of fighting over each other, essentially, even if they don't want to admit it. You know,
Yeah.
it's what we've talked about in the past that I've never really seen, but I guess it could be here. Lovers to enemies, although they weren't really lovers. You know what I mean?
True.
Because I always say one of my favorite tropes is enemies to lovers. Ugh,
Hmm.
I love it. But
Hmm.
like I want to see the opposite. Lovers to enemies. Like
Yeah.
real enemies. Like
Hmm.
I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna Google it. Stories with lovers to enemies. And
Mm.
I don't want the whole like, oh, we're gonna be friends at the end, or we've moved past it at the end. No, like I want there to be
Oh.
definitive. Like,
Okay. So you want like the full ideological shift,
yeah,
like
like it ends and they're still at each other's throats, or they die together.
they die together.
I was thinking about
Damn.
this today, the enemies to lovers or lovers to enemies, and the one that stood out to me, I completely forgot about it, was Daredevil and Elektra in the Netflix show.
Mm.
Because in the Defenders series, they both stay underground as everything collapsed on them. I'm like, dude, and that's technically the last time we see Elektra in the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matt
So far
Murdock
as
comes
I know,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, Matt Murdock comes back, but I'm like, dude, that's such like a great way to end that storyline, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, that's how you do it. Not Jamie and Cersei being crushed to death by a castle. It just didn't have the same effect. But like Matt Murdock and Elektra getting buried underneath Hell's Kitchen itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh man.
Poignant poetry.
Oh,
Mm.
slow down my beating comic heart. Yeah. So all in all, a
Yeah.
great movie. I'm glad we ended up watching it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad we rolled 16. This is like four times in a row, Sam. So
Dude, I know.
yeah, we gotta figure out the significance of the number 16.
I
So
know. I know.
yeah, viewers, listeners, let us know what you thought about challengers. You could hit us up at Lost Legacies podcast at gmail.com. Also, I forgot to tell you we're reading Gideon the Ninth. So if you got any comments about that book or questions, hit us up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as for what we're watching next week, you got your list, Sam?
Oh, that's right. Let me pull it
We're
up.
gonna roll for this.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me a
Okay.
D20.
All right. I'm all I'm all warmed up, and guess what I just rolled?
Did you roll a 16?
It was a 16 as my
Oh
warm
my,
up.
oh my God.
Okay, here we go. And I'm using different dice for each one. All
This is
right.
crazy.
This is crazy, dude. It's close. 19.
Woo. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay, interesting. We are embarking on quite a journey. I don't know if this was a horror film, but in the section on the website that I was looking at, or on the platform I was looking at, it was listed under horror.
Ooh, okay. I don't like horror, so we'll see how this goes.
You do like horror. Uh, Soon after a stranger arrives in a little village, a mysterious sickness starts spreading. A policeman, drawn into the incident, is forced to solve the mystery in order to save his daughter. Folks, next week we're talking about 2016's The Wailing.
Wailing.
I think it's called The Wailing.
Okay, I've
It's
never heard of this,
yeah.
so okay.
Yeah. Um I had heard I hadn't really heard a whole lot about it. Only like good things, and yeah, it just sounded crazy. So it is a South Korean movie. I saw the trailer earlier and I was like, I thought it was a completely different movie,
Yeah.
which is why I was like, oh, let me put it on the list. But then I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, well, this isn't.
South
Maybe.
Korean horror? All right. We're in
Hey man,
for it.
we love Train to Busan. That movie's rough, but it's a damn good movie. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, yeah. Have you seen Parasite?
No.
I should have put Parasite on the
Yeah.
list. Dang, could have
All
watched it.
right. Well, that's what we're
Well,
watching next
okay.
week.
Yeah.
Everyone next. Oh, I okay. I was stalling because I forgot what I was going to mention. Last thing
Oh,
I was going to
okay.
mention about challengers, the
Uh-huh.
cinematography. I was like, I knew there was something I forgot. Cinematography was just rad.
Incredible.
I loved it. I thought it was so cool. The way everything was framed, beautiful. Lots of I don't know what the budget of this was, but it felt like a big budget piece. And it felt like, this is like Downton Abbey in the tennis court. Like everything just looked beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Even like the storm at the end and all that stuff. Uh, but just visually, I thought it was great. And then when the camera turns into the players, I'm like, that's cool. Like they're probably wearing like a rig or something as they play. I'm like, okay, cool. And then the camera turns into the freaking tennis ball. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh
Mm-hmm.
yes. Because the whole time I'm like, it's like Zendaya's the ball being passed around between these two guys fighting this epic battle. And then I'm like, no, where the ball?
Yeah.
No, where's Zendaya? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, if she's the ball, we're the ball because we're from its perspective. So, I mean,
Okay. All
yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
one of those moments where I was just like, I was loving it. I was watching it. I'm like, dude, this is cheesy, but it's so rad, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I,
And that's kind of the thing too. Like I feel like this didn't get its due when it was in theaters. I heard a lot of people
sure.
not liking it, And a lot
Mm,
of people like saying that, like one, like they didn't like the cinematography because they thought it was
mm,
too cheesy, and they didn't like the music because they thought like they're just playing like this weird like techno 90s score that's in there when
yeah.
literally Luca Guadagnino explicitly told Trent and Atticus that like that's the kind of music I want. Like I want it
Yeah.
like it's a heart, like it's a heartbeat, like constantly pumping, pumping. You know, this is the
Hmm.
life force of the movie. And I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm in it. I'm on board. And yeah, so like when you first like it is kind of a thing
Hmm.
where like if you don't know what kind of music it is it's gonna have going in, I can see how it is kind of a shock.
Yeah, it's a
But
big
I,
shock
but like by the time you get to the end of the movie, I'm like, I don't know what else you could have used that would have worked, you
because
know?
it's such an important part of, I think score is always an important part of your film and your
Yeah.
story, but the way it's used here, uh, it's sometimes used as shock value.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I love some of these there's a lot of transitions where it just cuts to the next scene.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Some of them they don't work as well as others, but when it does work, it really does because it cuts the scene you're watching in. You're watching it, it cuts the shot. Sometimes there's like a camera movement, it moves slightly and then it cuts, so it's very jarring. It was like, oh, and then also the music cuts from super loud to just quiet.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I really liked that. Uh, but it's the music is used so often in that context, then yeah, it's like, okay, this is our playing field, this is our
Yeah.
court. And then by the end, it's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. It's part of it.
Yeah.
And then also speaking of courts, I love that shot from beneath the court where I'm like, the
Mm.
actors had to have been playing on some kind of like glass or
Plexiglass or
like
something.
hard
Yeah.
plastic glass. I was like, dude, that looks so cool. Um, yeah, and then last thing I was gonna mention, the touching the racket with the ball. I was like,
Mm.
oh, dude, because the cinematography is so damn good, you know, like you see it coming, but just for like a few seconds, at least for me, it was just a few seconds early because we see him keep doing that one serve. I'm like, okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right. And then this one time, and it's crazy, especially that final match, which is kind of like the centerpiece of the film because all the flashbacks are laid out in between this match. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like bookends and chapters. Um, but then finally, we get to the point where he's there and the camera is just like focused on the rack and the ball. And I was like, I think at that point we had seen them hook up already.
Yeah.
I think so. And I'm just like, bro,
Yeah. This
bro,
is him
come on.
just straight up admitting and
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
Art that that's what happened.
Things like that. There's little things in this movie. I'm like, hmm, they really went out of their way to show this or to say this. That's interesting. And then
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, it pays off. So that I thought it was just a weird little scene. Hey, just do this with the racket or whatever, to let me know. And I'm just like, that's very specific. It seems like you could have made this scene with a lot less dialogue. But then it's like, oh, yeah, it pays off at the end. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. There was no, thank God, there's no flashbacks of that moment. Why don't you just let me know if you slept with her? Why don't you do this with your racket? And
Yeah.
I feel like Hollywood does that Netflix does that so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
the audience is smart enough. We could put two and two together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That yeah, I was watching um I was watching Starfleet Academy
Oh,
and because I'm trying to give it a fair shake. I know I saw the pilot and I didn't really
yeah.
enjoy it, but I'm trying to give it a fair shake. Um and yeah, like in the next episode, I kind of felt like they were doing that Netflix thing, where it's like we're describing what's happening. We're
Yeah.
not really doing it. Wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as a lot of Netflix shows though. So I was like, okay, well at least there's that. And there is enough happening and there is, enough emphasis put on actual visual storytelling, to kind of buffer that. But
Hmm.
yeah, I was really glad that, once we got to a certain point, like There's no more flashbacks because we don't need them. We don't need to have that callback when he puts the ball there because if you've been paying
Yeah.
attention, then you know, and you know what that means. Also, I feel
Yeah.
like it's a thing too. Like if you don't know what that means, too bad because it's also not for you. It's
Yeah.
for them, you know?
Yeah.
Because even like they even cut to Tashi in that moment and like it doesn't look like she knows that. She
Yeah.
doesn't really know the significance of
It's
that
more like her
until she
reaction to
like
Patrick,
yeah.
because he starts smiling and she's just like, hmm.
Yeah, she's like, what does that mean? And then like once, once Art like
Yeah.
gets it, once it fully sinks in, he's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. Yeah, so
I
he
I
knows. He
I
for sure
love that
knows.
too.
Yeah.
Like he lets that, like when he misses that he just lets the
That
ball go
serve.
past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he does it again, but this time on purpose. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And that's when it goes to like what's it say? Match point or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Something like that.
oh, but he never says one last point or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
less
that's
is
why this
more.
isn't Rocky. All right.
Yeah, yeah, less is more. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Did you see Creed, the last one?
No, I haven't seen Creed 2 or 3.
There's a interest the final fight in Creed 3 is very interesting,
Mm.
very divisive amongst fans.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it could only happen because Stallone is no longer involved and Michael B.
Mm.
Jordan is producing it. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's clever. I would have never done it. I don't want to say too much, but I'll say this. I would never do that because it's a very anime inspired fight.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I feel like I
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah.
it
And
was more anime influenced. I'm like, I
yeah.
don't mind that, really.
I personally I loved it. I thought it was so cool. I don't watch anime, so I don't know what my fight would be. Like, I don't know. I would just do a hardcore fight.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know what else would fit, but the way they did that, the way Michael B. Jordan was like, "Hey, let's do this," and they made
Mhm.
it work. I'm like, okay, kudos, hats
Yeah.
off. That's why he's got an Oscar now.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's an
Yeah,
Oscar winner now. He can do whatever he wants.
yeah. All right, we're
Yeah.
gonna do the retelling of King Arthur,
With Michael
Guinevere,
with Michael B.
and Sir
Jordan.
Lancelot, starring Michael B. Jordan,
Hmm.
Michael B. Jordan,
No,
and
that
Michael
does.
B. Jordan.
Oh, okay. I'm in. I'm in. Say no more. I'm
Last
in.
thing I'll say before we end the episode. Someone tweeted now that Michael B. Jordan won the Oscar and he gave a great speech for the next year. He should just be called Michael Jordan. The other one should be called Michael J. Jordan until
Wow.
2027.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
There you
Congrats,
go.
Mike.
Congrats,
yeah,
Michael Jordan.
yeah, congrats, Michael Jordan.
Congrats on your Oscar.
Everyone, let us know what you thought about Challengers. Until next time, get
Get
lost.
lost.